the movement had the one leader pulling the wagon, pulling everybody, sort of that untiring, leader that never slept or ate, and then we saw that we needed more of not just leader and followers. We needed to change the model of leadership. So leaders started sort of standing to the background and pushing the masses up in front into getting involved. So then became sort of the push model. We start with 1999 in terms of the Battle of Seattle, and that was the big protest in Seattle around the World Trade Organization. And why is that important? Because that was a mass civil disobedience that shut down that meeting and could never happen because of all the protests. And so that was very new. That was a new breakthrough at that moment in Seattle. We also remember that in 2000 they put the Y2K scare that all the computers were going to fall and crash and, oil would be flowing and not stopping and water would not come out and all kinds of, the whole system would be breakdown, meltdown. But the importance of that is that it didn't happen, but it was made to believe that it did happen. So this catastrophic sort of approach was already sort of in the development. Then you have 9/11 in 2001, and it definitely set back the social movement in terms of civil individual rights and others. Quickly, like at 2003, and by then the social movement, that is the nonprofit organizations and political groupings and collectives and all kinds of formations, recovered that lost turf because there was a big Roots Cause march in Miami when the free trade areas of the Americas were being pushed by W. And then there was also the WTO, the World Trade Organization, protest in Cancun. Remember when that Korean farm worker killed himself on top of the wall in protest? And then we had also the first proposal for the first U.S. Social Forum that eventually happened here in Atlanta in 2007. That Project South was the main host of. 2004, we had the first sort of national, the national elections. W got reelected, but we also had the first consulta nationally to ask social movement organizations, are they willing to organize a social forum in the U.S. or not? And the answer was yes. But then Katrina hit in 2005, and that whole racist sort of underlying of the system came out. The National Planning Committee of the U.S. Social Forum met here in Atlanta, and Grassroots Global Justice Alliance that dedicated itself to globalizing the struggle in the U.S. and taking people to the World Social Forum in Brazil and other places was founded. 2006, we saw the mega marches of the migrants. We saw the Southeast Social Forum organized by Project South in Raleigh-Durham with about 3,000 people participating. We saw the Border Social Forum in El Paso Juarez that we organized Southwest Workers Union, and that we had about another 3,000 people, and we had the first People's Movement Assembly. So this was the first time that we actually implemented this assembly process. And then we had the U.S. Social Forum in Atlanta, and we had the PMA process here as well. So we were testing out this new way of bringing people together under the assembly. In 2008, the first ever black president in the U.S., and the importance of the social movement over political parties. While political parties had played a role in political decisions and all of that, the social movement all of a sudden were way more impactful in terms of the systemic social change Then in '09, we had the economic crisis, the bailout of the banks, the $1 trillion bailout of non-existing invented money that we now owe. So not only did it get paid out, but we also owe it. So it's almost like a double whammy. And then we had the U.S. Social Forum in Detroit, and the importance of that is that the PMA process, the People Movement Assembly process, not only happened during the forum, as had happened already before, but it happened before, during, and after the Social Forum. So those were very pivotal, infrastructural developments to building power in the South, and eventually for us, the University Sin Fronteras coming about in 2011, and then in 2012 having the first semester that we did here with Project South that we called Liberation Summer Semester in 2012. Then we did Emancipation Autumn in 2012, and then we've then also participated in the Southern Movement Assembly.